Welcome back to the JCPod, partner with Stare Down Sports. Stare Down greatness. And man, oh man, will we most likely witness greatness this weekend. We got college football conference championship weekend. We got NFL week 14. Massive week in the NFL. We got some teams who are fighting for their playoff lives. We have other teams, in the case of the AFC South, they're fighting for the chance to be automatically in the playoffs and host a home game. So there is a lot on the line this weekend, especially for my Colts. So really nervous about that game in Jacksonville. They haven't won in like 10 years. But before we get into that, we're going to go over Pickem, react to what's been happening so far in Pickem, react last week, look at the season, then head into week 14, do that. Finish the breakdowns off with some bets, early lanes, projections, stuff like that for NFL week 14. And then we'll finish it off with conference championship week. We'll go over all the games. I'll have some leans, for sure have some bets. Just need the hell out of my desk. Before I cause any more chaos, let's head over to the Pickem board. As you can see, not the best weekend for us. Mel, you can see, actually had a really great week. For her, she might actually be able to catch Keith. It just sucks that Keith finally had a bad week, and hey, look at us. We're right there with him. This was our chance, and we really didn't capitalize, and as you can see from the season, not going to lie to you, our risks just are not paying off at this point. As you can see, Mel's actually tied with Keith now for first place, so that is... shout out to her. Yeah, like we said, we tried to play some risk. It did not totally pay off. Still have the best pick record in the league, as you can see, but our numbers are so far off. I mean, we're down 43. Hey, you just saw it. She made a 20-point comeback this week, so anything's possible, but it's looking rough. But yeah, I'm just disappointed in our number placement. Not going to lie to you, our number placement's just been absolutely horrendous. While we might not make it back this year, I'm not going to lie to you, we definitely, I learned some lessons, for sure. I've learned my lessons a bit from this year, and I think I have some stuff that hopefully we'll see. Hopefully we'll do a little bit better this year, but going into next year, I expect to do a lot better than we're doing right now. Because like I said, 133-60, best pick record in the league. Now, albeit only by like 1 or 2 now, but we should not be this far behind. Number placement's just been ass, is the best way to put it. Thursday night, we got Detroit, Dallas. This is going to be a banger of a game. I think I'm going to take Detroit here. Dallas has been super, super hot, though, so this is going to be like a 2-pointer max for me. Might even move that to 1. There's just no way I'm taking that. I just can't take Dallas. There's just no way. I guess I can't say that. They've been really, really good offensively. I just don't fully trust their defense, and Lions coming off a heartbreaking loss on Thanksgiving, you got to think that they're a little bit hungry to get that get back, and we know how Dan Campbell is in games after he loses. So this is just gonna be a really fun game. Probably a game that I'm gonna risk getting wrong, and it's a primetime game, so we're putting a low number on it for sure. Seattle, they're headed to Atlanta. The only thing I'm nervous about is West Coast to East Coast, so I'm gonna put a very low number on this. We'll put a decent number, but the fact that it's West Coast to East Coast now, I'm gonna start putting that in a lot more effect, especially after the Rams lost to the Panthers last week. There's just more stuff I want to put a little bit into consideration, like that, because I'm not gonna lie to you, losing that 16 last week was massive, massive loss for your boy. Buffalo, Cincinnati, but yeah, by Seattle against Kirk Cousins, he can't move too much. That defense might be able to dominate him. Like I said, my only fear is them coming over. Are they going to be ready and awake? I think there is a chance they are, though. Buffalo, Cincinnati. I think I go to Buffalo, but not gonna lie, I'm nervous about this game. But Buffalo's been like kind of sneaky good lately. And by sneaky good, I mean like Super Bowl contender sneaky good. Like they've done just enough to win some of these games. It's just they have some really bad games on their slate. Like the game against the Texans, they just look horrible. But then they have games like against the Steelers where they just look awesome. I don't know, if they can fully put together, it just sucks. This is one of their best chances to win the Super Bowl, and this is probably, like I said, this is probably one of their best chances to win the Super Bowl, and they are, this is probably one of the worst Bills teams we've seen in the last recent years. They just don't have any real playmakers. It's going to be interesting if Brandon Cooks does anything for them. I'm not sure at this point in his career he's going to be like a huge difference maker, but it's better than nothing, I guess. So, I guess my only fear is the Buffalo defense, but I mean, Cincinnati's defense is really bad against the run, and the way Buffalo's been running, they might be able to run all over. I mean, Cincinnati's defense did stifle up against Lamar. I do think that's a bit of a Cincinnati against. I'm looking more at that as something's wrong with Lamar thing, and that's a division game. I think Buffalo might be able to run the ball all over them. Cleveland, Tennessee. Cleveland at home with that defense. There's just no way. That's probably going to be one of my highest numbers of the week. The only thing I would be nervous about, I guess, is the number one QB battle. Or, I guess, not. No, let me rephrase that. The number one QB in the draft, not the number one QB battle. Number one QB in the draft, Cam Ward. He has been playing decently well. They have been putting some games together, but didn't just think when they're doing. I mean, they put up a real bad stinker last week. Just when I think a lot of people were starting to jump on the ship a little bit. So, yeah, I just think Cleveland's defense is going to be able to. The biggest thing is just that Cleveland defense against Tennessee's offense might be able to harass them pretty bad. We're going to make that my 14 feels a bit high. But, I mean, I think they should win the game pretty well. I mean, they can probably win the game on the defense alone, honestly. Washington, Minnesota. 9 is coming back in this game. They can't be bad forever, right? We'll make that my 1-point game of the week. I just have no idea honestly. Washington looked pretty good against Denver, but I wouldn't be shocked if Minnesota wins that game, I guess. We're going to keep the 1 on on Washington, but I wouldn't be shocked if Minnesota wins that game, honestly. The Commanders did look pretty good last week, so I'm going to put... And it was against the Denver defense, but that was at home. I'm curious to see how they look on the road. But if Mariota's able to play that good against that defense, the Denver defense, and Terry McLaurin is back, they might stand a chance. It's just, let's see how 9 plays. Man, I just don't know. Miami, New York Jets, low number on this game. This just feels like a game where Miami should win it, and they just blow it against the Jets. They've been hot, though, so I'm going to ride the hot hand. New York Jets are coming off a win themselves, a very nice win against the Falcons. And they are looking a lot better on offense, at least passing the ball a bit with Tyrod Taylor in there. So, curious to see how that's going to carry over into this game against Miami, where I'm not sure how to evaluate this Miami team. I just don't trust Tua. It's going to be cold weather. You know what we got to do. That's going to be my 1-point game. I do think Miami should win it, but it's going to be cold weather, so I am a bit nervous about that. Just a tad. Past that, I mean, Miami should win the game based on how they're playing, but, man. I don't know how to evaluate that game fully. I'm not going to lie. Tua in the cold. I am just not a fan of that. Not a big fan of that. Tampa Bay, New Orleans. I do like Tampa Bay to win this one against New Orleans. It's probably going to be a tough game because these division games always seem to be, but this should be a game that Tampa Bay wins. Saints played pretty good last week, I will say, but I'm just trying to talk myself into the Saints quickly. Don't think I can fully get myself there. I want to say I won't be shocked if they win, but I think it will a little bit. Like, this is a game Tampa Bay should not lose at this point compared to how these two teams are going. Unless Baker's, like, really, really banged up, like, this is a game they should not lose. Indianapolis, Jacksonville. I got to go Colts on the road. I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars have held all running backs this year under 70 rushing yards. So that's one fear coming into this game, especially with the Colts coming in a bit limpy. But this is basically like almost a kitchen sink game for the Colts. I think that's the best way to put it. It is basically a kitchen sink game against the Colts. After that loss against the Texans, they cannot afford another loss. If they have another loss, there's a real chance that, like, hey, they lose any chance of hosting a playoff game. They might even risk losing, not making the playoffs. I mean, they have really, really been sliding. If you look at their schedule, this is a game that they should win based on all those. Like, they're good enough to beat this team this year. The only thing that's been an issue is the voodoo in Jacksonville, but I think the Colts should be able to get this job done. Might change that number. We will see. Oh, boy. Baltimore, Pittsburgh. I guess we'll go Baltimore in Baltimore, but Lamar's been playing so bad lately, man. This would just be it would be insane. This is probably a game where the Steelers out of nowhere all of a sudden play great, but I'm scared of them doing that, but at the same time, they just have not proven it at all really yet, so I just don't think I can take the Steelers, and I just can't fully trust Baltimore right now with how bad they've been playing. So we'll put a low number on Baltimore, root for the home team, and maybe that's one where we're rooting against other people. in our family. Denver, Las Vegas. We're going to take Denver here. Probably going to put a pretty big number on them. I mean, Seattle's defense against Kirk Cousins. I think I should. We'll flip it just because. But Denver going into Las Vegas. This was a very close game last time. I'm not sure if that's fully going to be the case again this time. I just think this offense is a little bit better at this point in the season than they were the last time these two played. Bo Nix seems to be in a bit more rhythm, and if Denver can get to a big enough lead at a certain point, I don't even know if Las Vegas will be able to catch up. So it's just like, hey, Denver just has to score points. That's the biggest thing, because Las Vegas is struggling to score right now. Green Bay, Chicago. I got to go Green Bay at home. Really nervous about this game, though, I will say. Don't know fully what to expect from Chicago, but I said last week is a prove-it game. They did prove something to me against the Eagles. They beat the soul out of the Eagles that game. They ran all over them. Curious to see how this is going to go against this divisional game against Green Bay. They are headed to Lambeau. This should just be a fun game. With how hot Green Bay's been. This is a game for the division. Like I said, we talked about it yesterday on that pod, that if Chicago loses, I think they could potentially drop to a 7 seed. So this is a massive game for them. As for Green Bay, I think if they win this, since they swept the Lions, they control their destiny for winning a division. So I think they'll be very motivated for this game against Chicago. And I just think Green Bay has a slight bit more playmakers. I trust in Jordan Love just a little bit more right now than I do Caleb Love. Not by much, but just a little bit more. So I think we're going to go Green Bay there. Rams, Arizona, coming off a loss to... we're probably going to put a big number on that. Coming off a loss to the Panthers on the road. Yes, it is another road game, but a little bit later in the day, and it's on the West Coast. They don't have to travel as far. It is a division game. Jacoby Brissett has been playing well, but I think the Rams are going to come in a bit more pissed off, a bit more focused on this game after they just didn't seem like, especially defensively, ready to play fully last week. So I look for that to change a bit this week. Think they're going to win. Not fully for sure how many points I want to put on them just yet. Kansas City, Houston. I won't lie to you. I don't fully know. I am going to take Kansas City just simply for the fact they are in Kansas City. We'll just bump every number up 1. That's fine. I don't mind moving that to a 5. I'm just simply going to take Kansas City because they are in Kansas City. But I respect Houston's defense a lot. There's a reason they're the number 1 defense in the NFL. They are legit and really good. So this is going to be a really, really fun Sunday night game. Really looking forward to this one. Like I said, I'm going to put a low number on that because I really couldn't tell you either way which way it's going to go. No Justin Herbert for the Chargers, potentially. Philadelphia, they have really, really been struggling. I want to put a low number on this game too. We'll just bump every number up 1. I don't mind that at all too much. I don't mind the 5 on Detroit at this point. 6, I'm a little bit nervous about that on that one, but I can tell you, if Justin Herbert plays, I kind of like the Chargers a little bit, but the fact that he had broken hand and is having surgery, I don't think he's going to play, but Philadelphia's been bad, dude. Maybe I make this my 1-point game. Let's see. I think I'm actually okay with that, because, yeah, I couldn't tell you either way. I won't lie to you, might change that later in the week if it says, like, Trey Lance is starting potentially, but assuming Justin Herbert plays, I couldn't tell you, man. Philadelphia's been so bad that I don't want to lose any points on this game at all, so I'm good there. We'll just go 24-21 for that as well. Who'll score the most this week? We'll go Buffalo because they're playing Cincinnati. And then who's going to score the least? We'll go Vegas because we'll probably pick Vegas the rest of the year, honestly, with how bad they've been. Man, they've been really sad. I think I projected they're under at the beginning of the year, but I didn't think they were going to be like fall off a cliff bad. I mean, Denver on the road. You know what? I'll put a 13 at least. If I lose Denver on the road because they can't beat that bum team of Las Vegas, then so be it. If that's the game they lose, then I'll take the loss on that. That is a game that Denver has no reason losing with how good they've been this season. So, I'm going to be so upset if they lose that. Rams against Arizona, I will put a 10 on that, and we'll move my Seattle 10 to 11. Now I just got to put my... I don't want to put my 14 on them fully, so... Maybe we just... Man, we'll go... Coming off a loss, yeah, I think they're going to win that. We'll go... You know what? Screw it. We'll do Cleveland at Tennessee. I respect the defense that much. If I lose because I have a 14 on Cleveland, then I'll lose. Okay, I'll take it. I trust in Shadur Sanders and that Cleveland defense to get the job done against Tennessee. And that's what my picks look like for this week. Not going to lie to you, a little bit nervous about the numbers, but lately it's been like, hey, we'll be either stuck in the middle of the pack or we'll be soaring above everybody, and we've been in the middle of the pack week after week after week. Maybe this is our week to get lucky and get soaring above the pack. Am a bit nervous about putting that 11 on Seattle since they are in a different time zone, but their defense has been really, really good, and they could really harass Kirk Cousins. So curious to see how that's going to go. No Drake London. I don't think he practiced. He didn't practice yesterday. Don't believe he's practicing today for sure, but it's Wednesday, so we're going to have to keep an eye on the injury report for that. But I think it's time to head back over to the gridiron now and finish the breakdowns and all that fun jazz. So Thursday night should be a good one. We got, like I said, we got the Lions. We got the Cowboys. I don't know why it took me a minute to think of that. But yeah, if I had to pick a side, like I said, I think I lean the Lions, but not for sure. I mean, I think I want to take Jahmyr Gibbs' rushing over as well. That's another one I was looking at, but yeah, I don't know if I for sure want to take the side or not. I mean, it is 3 points. Bit nervous about that. The money line drops a bit. I'll probably take the money line, but I do like Jahmyr Gibbs' rushing over. I like his rush over, and then I wanted to see, I forgot to look last night, what Isaac Tesla, what his receiving props are going to look like. He's going to get a decent amount of work. Curious what they put the Tom Kennedy. That's hilarious. I like Isaac Tesla over 34.5 yards receiving. I think he's basically going to be the wide receiver number 2. He ran 92% of the routes last week. He was in a lot of the plays, so he just didn't get a lot of targets. So I think he's going to have a bigger week this week. They're going to really need him, especially sounds like Amon-Ra's pretty much not playing. Khalif Raymond's not playing. So I like for him to do that, and I want to see what his receptions over are as well. I might be taking that if it's a low number. It's over 2.5. We're going to take that. Yeah, I just like that. I think Tesla's going to be the one to have a big day. James Williams probably will as well. I like Jahmyr Gibbs' rushing over. I think he's going to have a decent day. It should be at 76.5 last I looked. And then touchdown-wise, I mean, the odds are all just everywhere. But you got Gibbs minus 240. I like that, but it's way too high for me to give out. James Williams is plus 105. I like that one. I like Tesla plus 155. James Williams, like I said, I don't mind him at minus 105. Then I like CD. I like George Pickens as the receivers. Don't mind Javonte Williams. So check out StateOurSports.com. I'm going to have this article posted in about, hopefully, 2-ish hours after this video goes live. And I think it should be. Yeah, I should have it out about 2 hours before this after this video goes live. And I'll have all my bets for this game and everything because, like I said, might just make a touchdown nasty boy with how explosive this game could be again. We'll see. But like I said, I like George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, some of those touchdown scores. Like Jahmyr Gibbs' rushing over. Like Tesla's receiving over, receptions over, and for him to score. He's a guy that I'm looking to have kind of a big night in that game. Dolphins, 3-point favorites over the Jets. If anything, I'll take the Jets plus 3. Probably going to stay away from that for the time being. I can't decide if I want Achane or Waller to score a touchdown, but those would be the two guys I would look at. Waller had a chance last week. He just got missed in the back of the end zone, and they didn't go his way because it was at the end of the game. So we were really close there on that one for the Nasty Boys. We're going to go back to it this week. Other than the Darren Waller and the Achane touchdown, hold up. I might, they don't have it out, of course. I might look at some Achane receiving props, Waller receiving props. That's probably going to be the only thing to look at. Every time we're going to look at those two guys' props, probably take one of those two. Because past that, I really don't trust anybody else on the team fully. Darren Waller, as he gets healthier, is going to get looks each week. He's one of their tallest and literally tallest and biggest weapons, so they're going to use him a good amount. And like I said, he might have scored a touchdown last week if he was able to get the ball. I think it was the ball either just out of his reach or just out of his reach, laterally or was it just too high? I can't fully remember, but he was open in the back of the end zone, had a chance, just missed him. Seahawks 7.5-point favorites over the Falcons. If anything, probably take some JSN stuff since he's coming off a really quiet game. I think he's only won over 88.5. Probably going to take that. I think there's a good chance of that happening. Kirk Cousins have a turnover. I'm probably going to bet on that. Kirk Cousins throwing interceptions, minus 114. Probably going to jump on that. I think the Seattle Seahawks defense might be able to turn him over. Unless they pull a Rams from last week and they're just a little bit sleepy when they go over. Saints are 8.5-point dogs to the Bucks. I don't know what I'm going to take in that game. Maybe some Bucky Irving stuff, but that's a game I won't even lie to you, haven't really looked at or handicapped too much because these games are just really weird between them. They always seem to be low scoring, tight games, but kind of like some Bucky Irving stuff. Might take some Chris Godwin stuff. I think that sorry, I was trying to think of Chris Godwin. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. No, sorry. My goodness, Mike Evans. Mike Evans is potentially coming back off the IR, so his 21-day window is, I think, opened already, which is insane to think about. But yeah, so I don't know how to fully evaluate this wide receiver pecking order because, like I said, it's going to change here soon too. And they don't have any of the props out anyway, so I think that's a game I'm going to stay away from now. But if I'm able to look back later and I find something, I'll put it in my article that I'm going to get right on Sunday. Commanders Vikings 1.5-point game. That's just a straight stay away from me. Simply for the fact, I don't know which. Yeah, I couldn't tell you either way. I was going to say, I could see the Commanders winning it, but I also wouldn't be shocked if the Lions do win it. There's no props out. I don't know who's playing quarterback for either team. I mean, obviously, yeah, I don't think Daniels going to be back this week. So I'm kind of thinking it's Mariota there. Nine's obviously playing for the Vikings. I believe he's cleared, but I'm not sure if that's fully either, so I don't know. And prop-wise, I mean, especially Vikings-wise, probably won't take anything because of the QB situation. Commanders, maybe Terry McLaurin stuff. We'll see. He had a really explosive game last week. Curious to see if that continues over. Colts, I'm going to take the money line there against the Jags because, like I said, this feels like a kitchen sink game for them. And they really, really need this win. Jonathan Taylor, I'm going to take his rushing over. I think. I'm going to take it, but I don't know if I'm going to give it out fully. We'll see. That might be just a fan bet I take personally. Might not fully give out on the show for the record. But I do think this is a game where they realize, like, hey, Jonathan Taylor needs to help us out and carry us a bit more while we deal with the Daniel Jones injury situation. And, I mean, the Jaguars defense has held down teams in the rushing game, but this would be a perfect chance to get the monkey off your back with the losses in Jacksonville. Perfect chance to exploit the run defense with how good this offense is. We'll have to see. Weird things happen when the Colts go to Jacksonville these last 10 years, so I think this is the year they do get the monkey off their back. Like I said, it's a kitchen sink game for them. They really need this win to keep control of the division or have any hope of keeping control of the division. So, like that, other prop-wise, I'm going to have to look a little bit more. I'm not fully sure what I like in that game besides some Jonathan Taylor's rush over. But like I said, I don't know if I want to give that out fully. Steelers plus 5.5, Ravens minus 5.5, minus 295 on the money line for the Ravens. That's a stay away from me because Lamar's been playing so weird and bad lately, and I have no interest betting on the Steelers. If anything, that's going to be a live betting game for me. And, yeah. No, I just can't. I was trying to talk myself into something in that game. No, we're just going to get away from it. Titans, Browns. I like the Browns minus 3.5. Like I said, I think their defense is going to be able to hold it down. I think they win this game by about 7 points potentially. It's literally going to come down to their defense, but I truly think with how good that defense is, they might be able to give the Titans problems. Especially, I like that the Cleveland Browns defense is at home, and if the Browns are able to get a lead, they're going to be able to hunt, and that is when they're at their best. Probably going to take Quinshon Judkins to score a touchdown because they've been running some Wildcat packages when he gets a chance to get in the goal line. So that's something I'll be looking for there. And then past that, maybe some Fannin receptions over. He might be the new guy for Shador, but I want to see if Njoku plays again. I honestly don't remember if Njoku played last week. I don't remember hearing them call his name. So, yeah, he didn't play last. Oh, he did. He had 2 receptions for 4 yards. Okay, so I still might take some fantasy stuff because maybe that's a guy Shador likes because maybe they practiced together a little bit because Fannin originally wasn't starting the year out, I think, as a starter for the Browns. But I don't know. Shador didn't get any starters with any reps with the one, so I don't know what his situation fully was with who he passed to. Bills, Bengals, we're probably going to take James Cook's rushing over. I just want to see if they don't even have it out yet. But we're probably going to take that. I like Cook to score a touchdown, but it's minus 220. This should be a fun, explosive offensive game, unless the Bills' defense is able to hold it down a little bit. Bills should be able to exploit the Bengals' offense, but minus 5.5, I don't want to take the points either way. That game makes me a bit nervous. Broncos, 7.5-point favorites against the Raiders. I'm good on that game. They scored 7-10 last time these two played. I'm good. I don't want to bet on the Raiders because of how bad they've been. And I really don't like betting on the Sean Payton teams because he's just... It's a different guy every week. A different guy does this, different guy does that when it comes to stats. Who goes off this week, who does this. If I would take anything, it's probably R.J. Harvey to score a touchdown. He seems to be one of the more consistent things for them. But, yeah. Prop-wise, I really didn't plan on taking much in this game because, like I said, I'm really not a big fan of betting on Sean Payton, and the Raiders stink. Bears, Packers, that's going to be a live betting game for me. These are some of the 4 o'clock games now. So I'll admit Broncos Raiders is where I stopped my, whatever you call it, handicapping. That's where I kind of got to before I had to stop. And like I said, some of the props weren't out and everything. So, yeah, Bears, Packers, I got nothing really in this game just yet. Staying away. Prop-wise, I might take something with Monangai because he's been scoring a lot lately. He's been getting a lot more carries as well. But I don't know. I think I just want to be a fan of that game and watch it and probably not have anything invested too much into it. Rams, Cardinals, you know what we're going to take. Devontae Adams, anytime touchdown. He has been automatic these last couple weeks, so we're just going to keep riding the hot hands while it's going. 8.5 against the Cardinals, though. I'm going to stay away because it's a division game. That is a decent amount of points. And if Jacoby Brissett's still starting, I mean, they could keep it close, but coming off a loss, the Rams might be coming out hungry. Chiefs minus 3.5 against the Texans. I don't think I want to take anything points-wise with the Chiefs. If anything, I'd potentially want to bet on the Texans, but yeah, if I take anything, I kind of lean the Texans plus 3.5, but I don't know if I'm going to take anything there. Kind of like Rashee Rice to score a touchdown, but like I said, they are going against the number 1 defense, so I might only take Kareem Hunt to score since he's the battering ram when they get down to the goal line. And then Chargers, Eagles. Until I hear who's starting a quarterback, I'm just going to stay away from this game completely, and there's no way they even have props out or anything yet for this game. They have Justin Herbert passing props, so maybe he is going to play. We'll have to see. I want to look into that a little bit more. But my official bets for the NFL, Week 14, we got Jahmyr Gibbs rushing over 76.5 yards, Isaac TeSlaa over 34.5 receiving yards, 2.5 receptions, and anytime touchdown. I also like Amon-Ra anytime touchdown, like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens anytime touchdowns. We like Etienne or Waller anytime touchdown. I think I might end up just taking both and hoping one hits, and I think Waller will be like plus 200, so if it's that one, would be even better. I think Etienne might be minus 150 as well, so I might just wait to take that live to get better numbers. Kirk Cousins is throwing an interception at minus 114. We're going to take JSN's receiving over 88.5 or 89.5, forget which one it was. Colts money line. We're going to take Browns minus 3.5. Quinshon Judkins anytime touchdown. Harold Fannin, we might take his receiving over. Once that comes out, I want to see what the line is. We're going to take James Cook's rushing over, and then we'll take Devontae Adams anytime touchdown. And like I said, always check out StareDownSports.com. I'll probably add a couple more bets as we learn more about the injury news, and I'm able to see a couple more lines from other games. So the final thing we'll go over today is college. We got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games to go over. We got some on Friday, some on Saturday. Jacksonville State's taking on Kennesaw State. I kind of lean Jacksonville State there just a tad, but Kennesaw State's been so good this year that I wouldn't be shocked if they win it, so I actually have nothing in that one. Troy, James Madison, I kind of lean Troy just because it's 23.5, and that's a lot of points, but James Madison is kind of playing for their playoffs hopes and chances, so they might run it up if they want a chance to. So, yeah, if I had the gun to my head, I'd take something. I would take probably Troy. Let me see if these two teams played each other. I actually want to check that. They might have, and that might make my decision a little bit easier. Ooh, they did not. Yeah, gun to my head, I think I'll take the 23.5 points, but I wouldn't feel great about it. Boise State, they're minus 4.5 against UNLV. I kind of lean UNLV in the points there. I'm not going to lie. UNLV's been kind of sneaky good this year, and they've played really, really well. While Boise State is not the same Boise State team from the past, I'm just not sure fully what to expect from UNLV in this game. They haven't, like I said, they've been playing really well lately, though. They're just coming off an 42-17 ass beating of Nevada. They're on a 4-game win streak. They've been playing really well in these last 4 games. Utah State was a bit of a scare, but past that, they've been playing well. If we want to handicap, if we wanted to be dummy handicapping, they beat Utah State by 3. Utah State lost by Boise by 1. Give me the 4.5 points with UNLV at that point. But yeah, no, we'll probably take... Oops, I gotta go back, sorry. We'll probably take UNLV minus 4.5 there. Sorry, UNLV plus 4.5, plus 4.5, plus 4.5, plus 4.5. They're the one. I think they can keep that close. North Texas over Tulane. I do like that. I think I'm going to take North Texas minus 2.5. This should be a fun game and probably will end up being a pretty close game. I think both these coaches, funny enough, are actually leaving for different schools. I just like Messamaker as a quarterback just a tad bit more. This is going to be a really fun game. I could see either team truly winning. I just like North Texas a little bit more. So I'm going to be riding them in the 2.5 points. Might even just take the money line if it's minus 135 or like minus 130, minus 125. If it's something in like decent range, I might not even mess with the points and just take the money line. Ohio, Western Michigan, won't lie to you, I have nothing there. I have no idea what to expect from either of these teams. If I would take anything, it's probably Western Michigan to cover the 2.5, but probably stay away from that. I think I'm going to take Texas Tech minus 12.5. I do think there's a chance that BYU can keep it close, but I think there's even more of a likability that this is the same game as it was before. BYU is able to keep it close for a bit, then eventually they just get overwhelmed, and then Texas Tech is able to win by like 14 to 21 points. If Texas Tech wins, very high likelihood they get a bye in the college football playoffs, so I look for them to win this game by probably about 14 to 17. I don't want to say at the minimum, but there's a really good chance to win this by like 14 to 17, but the only thing that makes me nervous about this bet is BYU is literally fighting for their playoff lives. If they lose, good chance they might not make it. But like I said, I think Texas Tech just has some college bodies that BYU does just not have. And BYU is a little bit limited on offense compared to what Texas Tech is, but we'll see. Georgia, Alabama. I kind of lean Bama on the money line if I'm going to take anything, but yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a fun live betting game that I think I'll do, but I'm going to stay away from that. I want to take IU in the points just to keep it close, but if I got the same thing, gun to my head, if I had to choose, I'm taking IU plus 4.5. A little bit nervous about it, but I do think they could get the job done. I'm just nervous about Ohio State defense, man. The Ohio State defense is legit. And then we got Duke, Virginia. Virginia minus 3.5 against Duke. I got nothing in this one for you. If I had to pick, I'd pick Virginia to cover. Last time these two teams played, I think Virginia just beat the absolute shite out of these boys. It was 34-17. They just played on November 15th. So literally this was 2 games ago, like 2 weeks ago. 34-15, and I think this they a little bit of lipstick on the pig because there's a pick 6 and there's a touchdown that Duke scored with 10:23 left in the fourth, and then a pick 6. So that's 14 points, or it's 34-3. Or 31-3. Excuse me. Virginia kicked a field goal with 5 minutes to go. So, yeah, if I'm going to take anything, I'm taking Virginia minus 3.5 because of that. But I think I'm going to stay away. So, yeah, my official bets for college football, we got UNLV plus 4.5, North Texas minus 2.5, Texas Tech minus 12.5. And then if I had to pick, Bama money line, IU plus 4.5. Those are probably going to be 2 games I live bet, though. I for sure am taking UNLV, North Texas, and Texas Tech, though. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for the report. Really do appreciate it. Crazy that it's this time of year already. Next time you see me in this feed, it'll be Tuesday. We'll be reacting to all this. And there's probably, I think the way it's going to go with bowl games, we might not have much more college football to talk about here soon. It's pretty sad. But we're getting lined up for the college football playoffs after this week. I think the announcement is like December. So Selection Sunday is December 7th. So, yeah. It's going to be... So next time we're in this feed, we're actually going to be reacting to the college football playoffs. Even better. Even better. Like I said, I'll see everyone back in this feed on Tuesday to react to a wild NFL Week 14 where some teams are really needing some wins. And we're going to talk about the college football playoffs and react to Conference Championship Week.